Right now I'm talking with filmmaker Bob Berg, who's here with the sci-fi short Enhanced. Thank you so much for joining me, Bob.
Oh, thank you very much for having me. We're very pleased to be here with this film.
And we're excited to have you here. And you actually were at the Indie Gathering in 2006 with the film as well, Orthogenesis, and now you're back. So it's always great to have returning filmmakers.
Thank you. Well, it's really great to be back. You know, the things, the way that the festival has changed over the last decade. I mean, it's really become something very, very special. It always has been, but even more now.
Yeah, and it's exciting also to see like the growth of filmmakers as well when they return and have new projects and see new success as well. What can you tell us about this new project that you're promoting, Enhanced?
Well, Enhanced it's a science fiction short. It's 24 minutes long. You know, I've always had kind of an interest in science fiction films that depicted elements of time travel. You know, so that's kind of what the story is about. And I'll be honest, there is a bit of an homage to Terminator, you know, in part of how Enhanced portrays. But the story is unique, and it stands on its own.
And it has other elements as well. There's a little bit of romance in it as well. There's some action.
There is.
So there's something for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the first major difference is that, you know, he's not a robot, so it's like he's actually a real person.
Right.
So, and there's a love story, and it has its poignant moments.
And how did you develop the idea for this film? Because you wrote it, you also directed it.
I did write it. You know, Enhanced kind of grew out of a number of little science fiction sort of short stories that I had kind of developed in high school and college that I'd never really done anything with, you know, for years and years. And one day I just started thinking about, well, you know, I should pull some of this stuff together and start working on a treatment, you know, for an idea for a film. And it kind of grew out of that. You know, it's like you listen to the right sort of psytrance, you get, you know, get stimulated to write almost anything.
Right.
But
and it's a great film. I enjoyed it.
You.
And you've had other festivals that you've played at as well.
We have.
What are some of the other festivals you've attended with it screened at?
Well, the Enhanced major screening was in Denver at a festival called Starfest, which is sort of the science fiction convention that they have there every year. It sort of competes with the Denver Comic-Con, you know, on a regular basis. Beyond that, it's really had sort of just local screenings in Colorado. You know, this is sort of its breakout.
What's it been like for you promoting this film? You've had some success with it,
well, people like the film.
Yeah.
You know, and even tonight at the screening tonight, the questions: are you going to make it into a feature? Are you going to make a sequel?
It is expandable.
Else?
There's a lot more that could be added to the story.
And a lot happens in 24 minutes.
Yes.
You know, and there's a number of things that are unresolved, some really choice loose ends at the end of the film that might want to be filled in at some point. And I don't know the answer yet. I mean,
it's a possibility.
It is a possibility. Yeah.
Are there other projects right now that you're working on or thinking about working on in the near future, or focusing on promoting this right now?
Well, I have been primarily working on promoting this, but there's a couple of scripts in development. There's a horror short that may get made this fall, maybe, you know, if the script gets done to my satisfaction. That's really, for me, like where it really all comes down to. I mean, for me as a filmmaker, it's, you know, they say about real estate that it's location, and in a film, it's the story. It's like the script
Absolutely.
Is everything. It's
yeah.
everything.
It's your foundation.
It is.
Everything builds off of it.
So I'm very particular about getting the script to a certain point before I'll actually like decide that we're going to go ahead and produce a project. You know, it has to work, you know, and I'm really ecstatic that Enhanced got there, you know, because I thought it might have that potential, you know, and I'm the wrong person to ask. It's like, you know, you saw it, and your reaction to it is probably more honest than mine would be, since I'm so close to it. So.
Right. Is there anywhere that our viewers can either see it, buy it, other upcoming festivals?
Well, there's nothing online yet because of the fact that, you know, festivals are a little bit sensitive to like material being online, but there will be eventually. I mean, there'll probably be a Vimeo for it at some point. You know, I've got other festivals that it's been submitted to, still waiting to hear, you know, one of those kind of things.
Right.
You know, I haven't taken the plunge to, like, you know, make the Blu-rays available, but I probably will.
So if someone were interested, they can. Do you have a website to promote this, or social media, Facebook?
There's a Facebook enhanced page, and it's just facebook.com/enhanced, and it's right there. So, and you can see production stills, and you can see some of the character stills, out there. One of the things that's interesting about this film is it's probably the biggest CGI heavy sort of effort that I've ever undertaken before, so far.
Yeah, it has a lot of great effects.
Well, thank you. I mean, there are at least 40 serious effects, and the film is 24 minutes long. So, they're there.
Yes.
We worked really hard on those, and I'm very proud of them.
So would you say that was the number one thing that you were satisfied with in the film?
Well, I think the effects turned out really well. I'm also really very, very happy with the score. Mark DeRico in Boulder just knocked it out of the park. I mean, he gave me a score that was emotionally exactly what I wanted it to be. And I really think it moves the audience. When you're watching the film, it makes you feel these characters and the plight of these characters as much as the visuals do. So, it all kind of came together. It's sort of that serendipitous moment,
And is there anything else you'd like to add about the film or about yourself as a filmmaker?
I don't know. That's a hard one. I mean, I've got a couple of other projects that have really not. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do with them. We made a feature a couple of years ago called Misogyny, which is a psychological thriller slasher that is done, and it's sort of waiting for its opportunity to break out. Mm-hmm. And like I also mentioned, there's a couple of things in development besides the horror short. There's another feature-length script that's completely unlike either of these. It's not science fiction, but there is a metaphysical element to it, called Uriel. And I don't know if for the people who are religiously motivated in the room, but Uriel is the name of one of the archangels, and so it's a different bent completely.
So you are taking a new direction, and you're
in the film, yeah.
That's great. Good luck with that.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming out to the festival again, and
well, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for talking with me.
It's great to be back, after this amount of time, and you guys are still going strong. It's wonderful.